You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Hello again, folks, and welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggin.
Oh my God. Preseason football starts tomorrow. Oh my God.
Oh, can't wait. And let's not forget Kyle, the coach, Duggin.
What's up, bro, chachos?
What's going on, gang? All right. Well, we've got another fantastic episode lined up for you folks today. Plenty to talk about. Obviously, we've got a preseason game that's happening tomorrow. So we're all just pins and needles excited. We can't wait to see these guys hit the field and play against another LA team. I mean, for some people, this is the prediction for the Super Bowl. This is Super Bowl prior.
Battle for LA.
Yes, let's bookend these two these two games together.
Just
you
want
got
to
LA versus
bad
LA.
baby them. Just smack some ass. Just smack their ass.
Yes, absolutely. And so let's start things off taking a look at what's going on in some of the news. Derwin James had himself a quote about coming back to the Chargers. He said, "I feel healthy, healthier than I have ever felt in the past 3 to 4 years." James said, "I'm ready to put the energy behind me and just play football." At practices, James has been the primary play caller on the defensive side of the ball, which is the role he will have during the regular season.
Well, I really hope that he feels healthier than he has in the last 3 years.
Yeah, no kidding,
good
dude.
God, he hasn't even played.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't played, and all we've seen this offseason is him doing these acrobatics, for lack of a better word, on just prepping himself, getting his body ready for the season. So absolutely hope he starts to feel healthy.
And he looks good. He looks sharp. He looks like he's moving well. It's just, I've been watching everything that's coming out on social media, and he looks like, that rookie year Derwin James. So just stay healthy, my man. Hopefully these extra 30, 40 minutes of activation and stretching and all this stuff are going to keep him in good shape and no injuries, please.
Please, and thank you. And then in regards to being the primary play caller, those of you that haven't seen, he just, his mic'd up dropped earlier this week. And there was a quick little soundbite, a quick little bit of Staley going something to the effect of like, "I trust you. You're going to be making plays out there, or you're going to be calling the plays," or something like that. So obviously that is the situation that they've been working on, right?
Yeah, it was cool. He was kind of like, this is the first of many. Like, let's get this figured out, ironed
Big
out.
time.
It's cool to see him doing it in practice. You get to kind of hear a little bit of behind the scenes. I even heard him say a little bit about like, "I'm going to be on here as long as I can," because the mic will automatically shut off with however much time is left on the play clock. But a team goes no huddle, your coach is in your ear up until almost a snap. So it's cool to see, like, think about that side of the ball of, man, and you want that guy that can make those quick adjustments. Coach can hear him talking and he'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing? Don't talk don't say that. That's wrong. That's wrong."
Wow.
So it's just cool to hear, just to think about behind the scenes of the NFL. Cause man, I wish I had that coach in high school football. I can't tell you how many times I know for a fact a play call that I made got changed in the player who was ever actually playing the call was like, it's a bad call. Bad call, coach. I'm gonna switch that around.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. He can like test to see if his play calls are actually making it out there accurately.
Wow.
And it also helps you to fix things if things break down, or, "Hey, I thought we were running this," and you'd be like, "Well, why the hell would you think that? I said this. Derwin said this. Why would you think we were running that?" So it kind of eliminates that excuse.
And I love hearing both of them talking because they both are calling their shots. So during one of the practices, Staley was like, "All right, you're getting a pick right here," and pick. And then on this last mic'd up with Derwin James, he's like, "All right, I'm going to get a pick and take it to the house." Got a pick, took it to the house. So something's working. The communication, it's the call. He's calling it and it's happening. So let's keep that rolling. Absolutely. All right. Looking at some of the other guys on the defensive side, Kenneth Murray has looked great so far at training camp. Last year, Murray was 251 pounds with 13% body fat. This year, he is 247 with 8%
body fat. I cannot imagine what that feels like. I don't think I've had less than 20% for at least half of my life.
Being 250.
Dude, that's
insane.
monster. He's a monster.
I mean, look at him. The guy is just cut from stone.
And with that number 9 on too, single digit, somehow makes him look even bigger.
It does, doesn't it? It just like there's less number.
Yeah, big men are not supposed to be in those little numbers. This looks weird.
Big guy and a little number.
Big guy in single digits. Well, he pronounced himself to be 1,000% healthy and way stronger than he was before having off-season shoulder surgery. I'm probably moving the fastest I've ever moved, Kenneth Murray continued. I feel like I'm flying around. Well, anybody that saw the scrimmage over at this last fan fest might have been moving around just a tad too much there. K9.
We got to get into that because I think everyone's got this overreaction party where it feels like this coaching staff is like just really taking it, being careful and playing it safe. So I think
for sure,
a roll of an ankle, he'll be okay.
I don't doubt that he'll be okay, but just you hate to see him go from like, yeah, I'm 1,000% healthy to like sitting on the sideline holding his ankle.
Right.
But being able to run around for 4 quarters and being able to run around for 2 quarters are completely different things. He said, I definitely feel like I could do a good 8 quarters right now at bare minimum. Murray and Drew Tranquil open training camp as the starters at inside linebacker, with Kaiser White also rotating in with the first team. All 3 are expected to play key roles in 2021. So, yeah, I mean, we're Charger fans. We can't help but like feel our stomach kind of shoot up into our chest whenever we see like somebody getting hurt or somebody walking off the side. Kevin like immediately sent a text like, "What's going on with Lindsley?" And I'm like, what's wrong, Lindsley? What happened? Like, I haven't seen anything. Like, what are you talking about?
It's like having Twitter's amazing, but it's also like instant panic buttons.
Yeah,
like everyone's hitting the instant panic buttons.
Yeah,
so there was a little panic button. Everything's gonna be everything's okay. It was our first football we got to like experience like that, so it's like, all right, we'll get it. We'll get used to this. Considering
that we really haven't dealt with any injuries at all yet this off-season training, like those 2 little blips, it's like, okay, we can tolerate this, guys. Like it'll be okay. And then the last bit of quote from Murray, you hit somebody. You hit somebody. I want people to feel it, Murray said. I want my teammates to be able to feel me. I want them to be able to feel my passion, be able to feel that. You don't want to say anger, but that anger, when you hit somebody. Like, holy cow, dude.
Lyrical poet, in case you didn't know it.
Wow. Yeah, way to paint the word picture there for us as far as what it is that you're striving for as a linebacker.
Make him feel it, dude. I just want to bring this up. I didn't realize Lights Out Merriman got his name Lights Out because he knocked out 3 people in one game.
Very true, right?
I didn't know that. So let's mini Lights Out Murray.
That's right. Yeah. Anybody that saw the Between Two Kegs recently saw where Sean Lights Out Merriman got his nickname.
I missed that. Knocking people out.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've got a stellar Bolt Insight lined up for you folks this week. Some of you folks have been chirping, going like, you guys should interview this guy. You should interview this guy. Well, guess what, folks? It's happening. Who do we got lined up, Kev?
We have the YouTube sensation, Charger follower, Madden player, and streamer, the director.
The director, folks.
Yeah. Lights, camera, action.
Oh, let's roll.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are here with another Bolt Insight, and we have, you know him, you love him from YouTube, the director. What is going on, my brother?
Kia ora, brothers. That's how we open the show every day. Kia ora. So bringing that into the Chargers chat podcast today. How's it going?
I love it. Bringing it. I love it. Well, cool, man. I'm super excited to chat with you. Really excited to meet you. You do some amazing work, and we'll get into all that. But like, before we do any of that, like, how did you become a Charger fan? That's what we like to ask everybody.
Oh, that's a fun one. Well, as a kid, my auntie lived in San Diego. So I spent a lot of time in San Diego. Both sides of my family do not watch American sports. That's how I'll put it. So I was kind of the first one that was drawn to the NFL. And when it came time to like, okay, I really want to watch this every Sunday, who's going to be my team? It was super obvious. It's going to be the San Diego Chargers. So luckily at that point, I was getting in like the glory days of LaDainian Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers, that sort of thing. So it was easy. It was an easy decision back then. And here we are today doing the Chargers shtick on YouTube and having a blast every Sunday.
That's awesome, man. It's so cool. Like, we've been talking to a lot of fans every week. We have somebody on, and I'm telling you, 95% of the people are saying that LT was what really, that era, that time is really when people were drawn into the Chargers. It's kind of amazing how one player can do something like that. And I don't know, maybe we have somebody new on our team that can help with that as well. We'll see.
It's the generations. That's it. That's what brings us together as football fans. We all have that generation, that player that brought us in, whether or not you're an older fan that remembers the days of Dan Fouts, or you're a newer fan that's excited about Justin Herbert. We all got something to talk about.
Amen. So, well, let's get into it. Like, I want to find out, these hype videos you do are next level, and that's where I found out about you. So, where do you get the inspiration for these things, man? Like, where do you come up with the ideas to put these things together?
Well, honestly, I mean, I became aware that I was talking to someone else that did work in the industry.
Yeah,
quite awesome. We have the Chargers and the film thing to break the ice a little bit. But I did work in film for a long time, and when it comes to the Chargers, I think the whole reason I'm doing the channel is because it's this level of hype for me. It's this source of hype for me. And when I got into doing YouTube, I wanted to try and share that with other people. So using what I learned in film, try to tell a story behind the uprising of the current year of the Chargers. And so far, I've only done it a couple of seasons. There's been something to get really excited about the last 2 years, with Justin Herbert coming in last year and now Justin Herbert coming back. That's the Empire Strikes Back season, baby.
That's right.
So it
That's
makes
the
it
best,
easy.
The best movie, right? Should be the best season,
one.
right? No, exactly. So yeah, we're pumped, man. Your stuff's awesome. And then wanted to find out a little bit more about the the director, your alias. Like, you really have taken our community by storm, pun intended. Like, how did you get started, like, producing all of this content?
Well, honestly, I started off in the Madden community. I had a huge obsession with Madden, and I wanted to bring some Chargers presence to the Madden community too. And it was awesome. I got to work with some guys at EA and go out there and try the games early and do stuff like that. So we had a good community there. And there came a time last season during the pandemic. I had a job working in commercial, and the entire production team got laid off due to the pandemic.
Oh, man.
And I heard he had the Madden thing going. I had tried some Charger stuff, had an awesome response. And I told myself, I can try and do this all over. You know how it is breaking into, a studio or two. You know how it is jumping around.
Not easy.
That kind of work. Yeah. Or I can go into YouTube and really give it my all and take a risk in making that a thing. And fortunate for me, the Chargers fans showed up
right
in numbers and with a lot of support. And honestly, if it wasn't for the Chargers fans, who knows what I would be doing right now. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm very grateful for the Chargers fam that came together. And a lot of people knew my story going into it. And we've built quite an awesome community on the channel.
I think there's a lot of Charger fans that really appreciate that your boss or whoever it was that decided they weren't going to have you on anymore, because now we get awesome stuff all the time. So
I'll say this. It was one of the scariest moments in my life. Like, we're going through this thing as a nation, as a world, and now I don't know what we're going to be doing to put, food on the table. But sharing the story with everybody, one door closes, another door opens. And I got to tell you, this is an awesome, awesome gig. So yes, it's a blessing in disguise.
Well, keep it up, man. We love it. So, let's get into a little bit of Charger football. So there's been a lot of excitement this upcoming year. Specifically, we talked about it a little earlier, Herbert's second year, rookie of the year season. Like, what have you noticed? Because you interact a lot with the fans. What have you noticed the kind of shift in the fan base, or the kind of excitement in the fan base? Have you noticed anything different than the previous season?
Oh, yeah. I think the energy is certainly exciting, because a lot of people, Chargers fans, even back since the days of LT, the quarterback has been Phillip Rivers.
Oh, yeah.
And Phillip Rivers had a certain energy, a certain charisma that we all adore and we're never going to forget. But Justin Herbert is definitely bringing in a fresh excitement, the mobility, the big arm, the stature. I kind of thought of him as a mini Cam Newton coming into the draft. It's like, this is going to be pretty cool, man. And lo and behold, he goes to the Chargers. We're all very excited, but very cautiously optimistic, because, there's a lot of rumors floating around him at the time. The fact that he was able to conquer that underdog story in his rookie season, the narratives behind why he got the start in the first place in week 2, I think it lays a very entertaining foundation for the new Chargers fans coming in. And for the Chargers fans of this generation, like we talked about before, this whole uprising of Justin Herbert is going to bring in a whole new conversation that can link, us maybe older Chargers fans with the new Chargers fans coming in. And as far as the fans are concerned, I've noticed a lot of Oregon fans coming into the chat lately, and we're welcoming them with the open arms. Very excited to see more people join the fold.
Absolutely. The moment for me last year, I remember being on the couch and turning away and looking back, and Herbert was on the field, like, oh my God, what's happening? Like, usually I can get myself psyched up for this, and it just was there. And then he's knocking out linebackers on the sideline and throwing bombs and running it in. Like, what happened? Like, where did you come from?
Yeah, I remember getting a bunch of calls because I was on my way back to watch the game at a buddy's house, and I got a bunch of calls like, Justin Herbert's going in. I was like, you guys are messing with me. Stop, man. Come on. You heard me talking about it on the channel. You heard me talking about it. He's not going in. And then I check in ESPN. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. It's the Justin Herbert show. None of us expected what happened that day too. I think the first impression of Justin Herbert is what reeled a lot of people in, made a lot of believers that day.
Oh, he came out of the gate swinging, man. He there's no holding back. And then we're hearing more and more like, they really had to play it vanilla, had to be very simple in those early weeks. But he was still like just being athletic and just doing his thing. And it didn't really need to have the most insane scheme or game plan. It's just like, go out there and throw the rock. Go out there and do your thing.
The force is strong with this one. His instincts, man. Like, I think that's exactly the point there, is that he wasn't prepared to go in. The game plan wasn't made behind him in mind. The whole scheme wasn't, put together with him in mind, maybe in a much later date. But the point being is his instincts were able to carry the team in that circumstance. And that's what's really exciting about this season. Oh, we got some prep time. I mentioned this in an interview a couple of days ago, but it boggles my mind. I read it again. I can't confirm if it's true, but I heard that Keenan Allen hadn't caught a catch from Justin Herbert until week 2.
No, he said those words came out of his mouth, Keenan's mouth.
Okay, speaks for the coaches a little bit last season, just a little bit, right? But it also speaks to the level of hype that we should have with the kind of preparation he's going into the 2021 season with. That's pretty huge.
Yeah, you can't teach instinct. That's just something you have or you don't, and he's got it in spades, and now he's going to have that off season to prepare and study the playbook. So it's exciting. So let's jump to the other side. New coach, defensive wunderkind from all accounts. So what are you most excited about for this defense and what Staley could bring to the Chargers? Because we're used to Gus Bradley. We're used to this very soft zone at late in games. This, like, everyone's like, I'm pulling my hair out. I'm stressed. Like, what do you think this Brandon Staley defense is going to do for Charger fans?
It kind of reminds me the Gus Bradley system of when you're swinging into a bank. You know what I mean? By the hang rope or whatever. If you don't let go at the right time, if you wuss out, if you're playing it too safe, more than likely you're probably going to hit something a little hard at the bottom, right?
Sure.
With this new defense, I think taking risks and I think taking, being more creative in the way that we're doing it is very, very exciting, because Brandon Staley, I don't think, is in any way predictable. And I think that's what brought a lot of success to the Los Angeles Rams last season. And that's something that Chargers fans at just a ground level should be excited about. I would feel like there's going to be more QB pressures, more turnovers, more sacks, the stats that lead to a pretty impressive defense. And I think Brandon Staley, in the way that he's going to be able to utilize guys like Joey Bosa, I think Kenneth Murray's honestly one of the guys I have my eye on in his defense, should shine quite a bit. But additionally, guys like Derwin James, Drew Tranquil, coming back into the fold. Already that was good news. But with Brandon Staley, that could be a recipe for disaster in the offensive coordinator.
Oh no, it's exciting. And you hear like Lombardi talking to Drew Brees at that OTA, and like, I can't figure this shit out. Like, it's just like, he can't do it. He's seen a lot of defenses. Like, that is a good sign. And Herbert gets to practice against that. Like, he has to get used to that, which will make everything much easier, I'd imagine, in comparison.
I think on both sides of the ball, iron sharpens iron. We should see, I'm honestly very excited to see the development of the rookies in this system. Asante Samuel, a lot of people are wondering, how immediate of an impact that he's going to be this year. I feel like he's going to, put up a show in his rookie season. Totally. Dark horse candidate for defensive rookie of the year. And I think it really does come down to the way Brandon Staley utilizes his players. That's so unique to him as a coach. A lot of coaches, I feel like, might have a stubborn mindset of, this is what we're doing, and these are the players that are going to execute. Well, Brandon Staley playing chess, not checkers, says, well, this player's really good at being a rook, or this player's really good at being a bishop. We're going to put them in the position where that piece is going to succeed. And that's where I'm most excited. Again, the unpredictability, but playing to the strengths of these defensive players, which is what gets me really excited.
Yeah, and it's the interview that Haley Elwood had with Justin Jones, where he's like, I feel like I'm going to get to rush the passer now. Like, okay, you weren't rushing the passer before. You were just taking double teams. And they're like, how many diamonds in the rough are we going to have on this defense where guys that, they're going to be able to take the collar off and like have opportunities? It's going to be fun to see.
It's going to be awesome at a base level as us as fans, because I'm by no means an analyst or anything like that. But one of the biggest things that frustrated me in the Gus Bradley system was the lack of blitzing. Yeah. And I feel like that at a base level does kind of show you the cards of a Gus Bradley system last year. This season, I expect to see a lot more creativity on the defensive side of the ball. And we might be able to see the full potential of a Joey Bosa finally.
Can you imagine a full potential of Joey Bosa?
I want Joey Bosa to be that face that quarterbacks have flashing in their minds while they're sleeping the night before the game. Like that needs to be the kind of player Joey Bosa is. And I feel like Staley's going to unlock that.
Bosa monster's coming. I feel it too, man. So let's just jump in. We'll kind of wrap this up. Like, what are your goals, man? Like you're doing so great on YouTube and all your stuff doing. Do you have what other aspirations do you have in terms of the content you're creating?
I think in terms of content, like I just want to get as many Chargers fans in the same place as possible. I feel like I have the same sort of story as a lot of people. I'm not in a place where there's a lot of Chargers fans. And sometimes sharing your passion for the team can be a bit of a challenge if there's nobody else around. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
Most of the fans that I've interacted with through the channel have shared a very same experience. And for the first time, I feel like we have that outlet to really, describe and share our passion with other like-minded people, fans of the team. So that's kind of my goal with the channel, bring in as many people as possible to get hyped. One of my favorite things to do in the season is we hold a live stream during the games. Of course, we don't show the game, but we're all there, hollering and cheering. It feels like being at a Chargers bar, which cool. I haven't had the pleasure of doing. So if we can simulate that through YouTube, it's a really, really good time. So yeah, we're hoping just to get a lot of Chargers fans in the same place and build the hype.
That sounds awesome. Well, I'm going to have to jump in on that because I'm in the middle of Missouri next to all those Chiefs fans. So I will come join you,
dude, man.
Dude,
I hurt for you, man. I won't say where I am, but I'm going to tell you, dude, we got a lot of Broncos fans running around everywhere. So I feel you. Enemy territory, that's where it's toughest to be a Chargers fan.
Have you ever been in the grocery store and a grandma sees you wearing your Charger stuff and kind of tries to kill you with her eyes? Happened to me at least 3 or 4 times where I live.
I've felt the same way. I've been attacked by some Raiders fans on occasion, unprovoked, just because I never stop wearing the Chargers jerseys, but vice versa. It feels like the Chargers fan base is an exclusive club, right? Yeah. If I see somebody walking down the street with like repping the Bolts or whatever, I will approach you and I will spark a conversation. And most of the time, it's a good time. And vice versa, people come up to me all the time, not even knowing I do YouTube, just the fact that I'm a Chargers fan. That's a pretty cool feeling too.
Absolutely. I see a bumper sticker. I'm driving next to him, the creepy guy waving like, hey! Yeah, exactly. Honk, honk, honk. So, all right, cool, man. So that's great. We can't wait to see all the stuff you're doing. Bring the fans together. That's our goal. I think it's just what's going to make us stronger and make us a great fan base. So
absolutely. All these different outlets, I feel like the Chargers fans have a really good, presence in social media now because of guys like you, the channel, different news. I feel like finally the Chargers fans have a place to really relax. So keep doing what you're doing too, brother. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Okay. We are down to the last question. It is the most important question I have for you. You are the director. What is your favorite sports movie of all time?
Oh, man, that is so freaking tough. It's going to feel so cliche, man, but remember the Titans hits different, okay? I'm sorry. I wish there was some underground, niche movie I could be like, oh, you've never seen this, but it's got to be Remember the Titans.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude. It's so hard for me. It's like football. It's like Rudy, but I'm going to have to go Rocky. It's just like the underdog. It's just like, I know it's not football, and I should say football on a football podcast, but Rocky. It's got to go Rocky.
Got to respect it. Got to respect it.
So, all right, man. Hey, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking the time. It was so awesome meeting you, and
anytime.
Let's do it again, man. This was way too much fun.
Anytime. Good times over here. Good vibes. That's the kind of people I like to surround myself with. Let's do it again.
Absolutely, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Dude, director, my man, thanks for stopping by, saying, hey, that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. It's so cool to see and meet everyone that's creating all this Charger content, because this is new. It's a new thing. Charger fans, we haven't always had this, so it's cool to like just meet everyone, and he's a great guy.
Big time. Yeah. I mean, in the times of darkness, we're looking for any kind of light that we can find, any flashlight, any candle, whatever we can find. And the director just comes in with a bright, blinding light with those hype videos, man. Like they just get us so pumped up. That is just, it's you can't, words can't describe. So director, awesome for you to stop by. We really do appreciate it.
Quick thing.
Yeah.
Your 2 favorite sports movies, go.
My 2. Why do I got to come up with 2?
No, not 2. You, the 2 of you. You pick one. You pick one. Your favorite sports movie, go.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say The Sandlot. The Sandlot is an absolute favorite for me.
Yeah, so I actually agree with the director. My favorite is Remember the Titans,
Mhm.
but I will throw out a close second of Mighty Ducks, the OG. Mighty
Nice,
Ducks.
yeah.
OG.
Classic.
Good shit.
I love it. Well, there you go. All right, folks. Well, we are now going to back out of Bolt Insight and head on over to Coach's Classroom. Hang on a second. Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, beep. That's right, folks. It's time for another rendition of Coach's Classroom. And we reach chugga chugga, and we reach into the bag of questions, and we pull out one from Chris M. Congratulations, sir. Your question is going to be broken down by the coach this week. And your question goes thusly. I once heard Bobby Ross, the Chargers' only Super Bowl head coach, in an interview. He said, "My job is simple. Keep my quarterback clean and make the other team's quarterback dirty." I think a somewhat under-the-radar player who could make the other team's quarterback dirty this year is Nwosu. If he can really step it up, he could be pivotal to this defense. Is there another somewhat under-the-radar player you can think of as a pivotal at any position? Who might that be? All right, so under-the-radar players. I think we have quite a few of them on this team. There's a lot of fresh names, a lot of big, long names like Ogbong Bamiga, and I'm curious to see, Coach. What do you think? Who do you think is fitting that bill?
Yeah, I do think every team has those. You need those guys because not everyone can be a big name, big contract, get paid a bunch of money. You can't have a good team with only those guys. So there has to be some of those under the radar guys that really perform and make big plays when you weren't really expecting it. I do think Uchenna is kind of everyone's go-to. Like this guy's got to step up for us to be successful in the pass rush. Just with some of the younger guys, I know Chris Rumpf had a great practice at the Fan Fest. He's getting around, and Ogbong Bayang, however you pronounce it,
Ogbong.
Ogbong. Yeah, he had a couple cool. He had some big. He was not laying off. Some of these guys weren't hitting full go, but he was trying to prove a point with some of the contact he was making. But one guy that I just can't. He gets a lot of hate, and I don't know if it's all justified. It might be. I just don't think I've seen enough of the guy to say he's not going to do well. And we've kept him around, and he's continued to be what we keep penciling in as the number one corner, and that's Brandon Faison.
Faison, I said, knew it.
This is going to be. It might be a hot take. It might be a bad take. This might not age well.
Hot and bad.
But it's just the depth at our corner position to me is one of our weaker points. And to sit here and say that Asante Samuel as a rookie is going to come out and be the guy right away, it's hard. And with Mike Davis, one of those guys might get hurt. That's the next guy. He's your top three. And Chris Harris, but Harris, they especially what I watched at Fan Fest, they move him around a lot. He was in the nickel. He was back at safety. So these guys are going to have to step up. And Faison's a guy that just keeps sticking around. He keeps being at the top of that depth chart. Even in the first week of minicamp, he was the guy. Like he was running all the ones, and Asante is still trying to kind of claw his way in there. But it's a guy that I think that is under the radar. We all as fans are hoping that our second round pick becomes a stud and can take over that position and just lock it down. But I do think he's under the radar. I think he gets a lot of shade thrown on him. So I wanted to look back and kind of see like why does he get such a bad name? Because he, in all honesty, he hasn't played that much. So Brandon Faison's a 28-year-old. This is going into his 4th year. All have been with the Chargers. Listen to the measurables on this guy. He's 6'2", 200 pounds. He's a big, tall, strong corner. Very similar to what you see in a Mike Davis, to have those big guys that can get up in your face, press, not let you off the line kind of guys. He had a 4.5 40 when he was coming out of college. He went undrafted out of Virginia Tech. So we had stuff to work on, right? You go undrafted, you're not expected to be a guy to start right away. And he didn't. He's had 3 years now in the NFL, getting better, working on all the things that he's needed to. And he just has not, he has not played a lot. We don't know really what he has. In 2018, he played 6 snaps on defense. In 2019, this was the biggest year that he had because of injuries that we had in the cornerback position. He played 331 snaps on defense. And just last year, which most people are judging him based off of, he played 49 snaps on defense in 16 games. The guy played 49. That's just not a lot of work to go off of and say, hey, he's not good, or he's, how on earth is he our number 2 to 3 guy? I just think he gets a bad look. So I wanted to go back and look at one of the games that he played a lot. I had to go all the way back to 2019 because last year he was very spotty, 5-6 plays here and there. So I went back to 2019. He played this whole game against Denver. And I just watched the whole first half, every play that he had, just seeing if he was even in the right spot, even if they didn't throw to him, what his technique looked like, what he was doing against the run, not only in pass plays. And I honestly, I was shocked at what a lot of his technique and a lot of his playmaking ability. It looked good. It did not look like a guy like, oh God, how the hell is he out there? If anything, watching this game made me think that about Casey Hayward. I think he outplayed Casey Hayward in the majority of this game. And we all saw him as a Pro Bowl #1 shutdown guy.
Right.
So I just want to look at a few plays here. All of them are kind of in different categories. The first one I had to look at is just a run stop. It's nothing fancy, nothing over the top, nothing that's going to be on the stat sheet or on ESPN. But it's just good technique, good execution, and being physical as a corner, which we don't always get to see. So you'll see Faison. He's here at the top of the screen. They're in what kind of a set, Kevin, with no wide receiver?
That's a snub set.
That is a nub set. NUB nub set.
I snubbed that one. That's a nub set.
Nub set. Good.
Nub.
So he's over here. Not a great position for a corner to be in because we always run cover 3. So he's probably got a zone. So they don't want to take him over and put him out of position. So they keep him there and he runs his same zone. But this is a very much of a more of a run heavy type of formation they have. They have the 2 backs, 2 tight ends, which is 2 and 2 makes what kind of a set, Kevin? 22 personnel.
22. That's what I was going to say.
22 personnel. 2 backs, 2 tight ends. So
he has no
big, heavy
patience
set.
for his older brother today.
No. 2 and 2.
Zero.
What is it? You get a half.
What was it? Yeah, fucking math.
Yeah. So you're gonna see right when I run the clip, Faison's gonna get down the line of scrimmage. He's gonna squeeze. So he's gonna get down to the line of scrimmage and squeeze and make the tackle. As opposed to a lot of corners, they think they're pass first. They drop back. They're slow to react, and they create a lot of openings for the running back to be able to break outside. So as you see the clip run, he squeezes down, comes down the line of scrimmage, and makes the tackle. Doesn't seem like a big deal. It, again, not on the stat sheet, but this is the kind of stuff that good corners do consistently. Squeeze, get down, make the tackle for no gain. It's a big deal. On this next clip, right away, we're going to see 3rd and 4. Derwin is up, pressed. He's going to press the number 2. Faison is outside. He's man-to-man on the number 1. So he is playing outside leverage. So he doesn't want to give up that quick arrow route or the 5-yard out to give up the first down. He's going to make this guy run a route that's inside because he knows he has help here from the safety. So as this play develops, they run a little rub route where the number 2 is going to come up and try to get a piece of Faison. He does a good job avoiding, keeps his hip squares, and he drives on the slant. Everything that he does is well, and from just an onlooker, without being able to watch replays over and over, it looks like he blows it. He gives up the first down because he lets him run a little slant. When in reality, that's what he has to give up so he can take away everything outside. Phillips is just a second late to be able to get there and help. So he breaks on it. He's right there to make the tackle. The help is just a second late from the safety because he turns him inside really good. He avoids the rub. He gets underneath, just a half a second late from a help. So I don't see that as a bad play. That's them beating us in execution on more than one place. Could he have made a great play and stopped that? Yes, but he didn't because he knew that he should have had help coming from the inside. All right, and now looking at this clip, you see Faison. He's here at the top. They have 1, 2 receivers eligible down here. Again, we are in some kind of a zone coverage. So Faison is really going to be responsible for this deep edge. So this deep third, you're in the red zone, so it kind of gets condensed. But what you're going to see is he becomes the victim of scheme here. Because we're in a zone and not man, he becomes a victim of having to play and be conservative and not give up something over the top. So what they're going to do is they're going to run a little bit of a route combination, and he is going to get out to the flat and become wide open. I'll run it once, and then I'll come back and talk through it. But as you see, he sits up here, and he just kind of waits, right? So when you're just watching this, when you're watching the game, like, why the hell is he not coming up much faster on that underneath route? Why is he sitting back there? Why is he waiting? Well, in reality, he has to be able to take away the touchdown and react up to the underneath. So this guy here, he doesn't know if he's running a 7 route, that corner route. If he does, he has to stay off deep enough to be able to defend it. And then this guy running out into the flat, he would react up on. So he can't just jump the underneath route or else he could give up the touchdown. So because of the zone that we're running here, he has to wait to jump up on that underneath route until he makes sure that this guy's not going. Now he reacts up. He reacts well and he makes the play on a big guy. But because of scheme, he couldn't just go right away. So again, that's in a position where he's making the play and he's doing what he has to do. It's just slow because of the scheme. Okay, again, here, another open field tackling, which, and again, we think of corners, we think of the pass. That's what the NFL is now. But you'll see Faison's down here at the bottom of the screen. They're not even going to block him. This receiver that is technically over him, he's going to come in and try to cut off Derwin James and these backers. He's going to block down on the edge. They're going to leave him alone. They're saying, if we have to bounce out there, our guy's going to beat you. And he does a great job of he closes ground. He keeps his feet underneath him. He forces the running back inside. So he maintains his leverage and he ends up making the tackle. So everything he does here, again, is very technical, very by the book. He does a great job. He's down here, comes, steps up, stays outside, boom, makes the tackle for a gain of nothing. So again, as we continue to watch, it's like, I'm not seeing the deep hatred and the big mistakes and what he's doing that's so wrong that gets him such a bad name. Now, again, this is a small sample size. It's only a half. But when you watch this, he looks like the better corner. So he has the abilities. Now, if he can execute consistently, I think we have a good under the radar, no one giving him much attention corner for us here. So this play here, Casey actually gets embarrassed, but if at the bottom of the screen, so Casey Hayward is now down here. Faison's at the top. If you watch his technique here, they're in man, which we didn't run a lot, which maybe is why we're going to see more Faison. Maybe he's a better man guy, but as you'll watch, Casey gets embarrassed and Faison's on just all over his guy. So Casey's at the bottom of the screen, just gets run by and they throw an easy touchdown. But if you watch the top of the screen where Faison's playing coverage, there was nothing there for him to be able to play. At the top of the screen, he opens his hips, stays connected to his receiver. He does a great job and takes it away. Casey looks like the undrafted second-year guy.
Ouch.
So again, another play where Faison's doing his job. I'm sure there's plays where he's given up a play, but you can see here, even Casey Hayward, who's supposed to be our number one, it happens. Corners, it's gonna happen to them. So overall, I just think that he's an under the radar guy because no one really gives him credit, myself included. That's why I was so excited when we drafted Asante Samuel in the second round. It's kind of what I've talked about all offseason, and I'm scared about our defensive back situation as far as corners and safety. But I think if we need to give him an opportunity to lose the job. Everyone's asking for his head right away. The guy's not played a lot. And what I've seen in just this small sample size, he has the ability. Now, he needs to prove that he can do it consistently and not give up the big play. But I think that his skill sets they're gonna translate a lot better into this new defense of coming up and pressing on the ball a lot more, running more man to man, and he's a versatile guy. He's a big guy. He can go in there and put his nose in there and make plays against the run. So I think he's an under-the-radar guy. No one's really talking to him. Everyone hoping he's not the guy. But I think he's going to need to be a big role in our team moving forward, especially injuries are going to happen. It's just the NFL. Guys are going to get dinged up. So I think he's going to have a couple of those games where we're going to need him.
The thing that I've noticed as far as this offseason is that there have been reports about Faison being in those, I might have the wrong terminology here, but playing with the number one team, as opposed to the number twos, and holding his own, like actually doing a relatively good job. Like he was getting some praise. So I think possibly under this different defensive scheme, possibly with this new coaching staff, that they might be able to utilize all of those measurables that you were talking about, because on paper, you're right. I think he should be a stud in that position. And whether it was just him not being in the right mindset or just not getting coached correctly, whatever the situation might be, I think he has that opportunity this year. And I think we're going to see a lot of fresh talent from this guy that we just haven't had a chance to see in the past.
I hear what you're saying. I still don't have a lot of confidence in him. I like that what coach has shown and all that, but he's got to prove it. If he's serviceable,
absolutely.
That's fine. I don't expect him to be a stud in any way, shape, or form. If he's serviceable and doesn't get beat, like we've seen him get beat in the past, like, who knows, this new system, the new way things
I don't know.
going.
Like he just hasn't played a lot. I mean, everyone's gotten beat. We just saw Casey Hayward get beat. We've seen Mike Davis get beat. Everyone gets beat. If you only have 70 plays on tape and you get beat once, that's bad. But he didn't have as many opportunities. I'm just saying, let's give him an opportunity. Don't be pissed off if he's out there playing football, because I think he has the ability to do it. I think it's one of the fun storylines to watch tomorrow and tomorrow's scrimmage. Watch the cornerback play, and don't just watch for. And sometimes a big play happens, we blame it on the guy. Who knows if it was really his fault? We don't know what the play call was. We don't know what he was supposed to do. We don't know who was supposed to have help where, and where the miss was for him. Sometimes we just don't know, and sometimes that wasn't his fault, even though it looks like it really was. I'm just saying, I think it's a fun story to watch, that position battle. Because Asante Samuel gave up a touchdown in the fan fest that I went to. That was pretty blatant. He fell down, and Mike Williams or Jalen Guyton ran right past him. So it's going to happen to corners. So I think you've got to look at the whole body, and also realize this guy has not had a lot of snaps. He's not had a huge amount of opportunity to set himself apart. So watch with optimism, as we are shamelessly optimistic. Do your best
Skippy,
to give him an opportunity to lose the job, because I think the coaching staff has said, "Hey, it's yours to lose. Go win it. Don't let Asante Samuel take it from you."
There you go. All right, thank you, Coach, for breaking down the Brandon Faison-ness that we have to look forward to this upcoming season. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us here at the Charger Chat. But before we go, we have a quick announcement to make. Those of you that stuck around to the end of the 100th episode got to hear us drop a little secret giveaway. That's right. We have a winner to announce for the Charger Chat Easter egg giveaway. Tickets to the second preseason game against the 49ers, Sunday, August the 22nd. And the winner is Ryan Toledo. Congratulations, brother. You'll be honoring the Charger Chat podcast at this Week 2 game against the 49ers. We'd also like to shout out all the people that entered for this Easter egg giveaway: Herbs, and Burrs, Chase Stone, Mad Maximus 21, Amazing Brian, Kia, Joshua John Munyon, Ayinji, Leonard Garcia Jr., Bolt Up 97, Kellen Smith 42, Max, Ghost, and Super Bolts champs. Obviously, you guys listened all the way to the end, and that really makes our day. And we really do appreciate everybody that listens to the Charger Chat podcast. So be sure to listen to the end of every episode, because we might be having some more giveaways here in the not too distant future. Again, congratulations to Ryan Toledo. Bolt up, brother. You're going to have a great time at that preseason game. And that will officially do it for us here at Charger Chat this week, folks. Don't forget to bolt up, because we're ready for any squad, any place. Okay, love you. Bye. And now, a word from our sponsors.
When you need a hot sauce that won't let you down, choose Holy Toledo Hot Sauce. The sauce that packs a punch but doesn't let you down in the flavor department. Great for the whole family. Easy there, Jimmy. Not too much. Holy Toledo hot sauce. Explosively hot.